What's going on? Welcome back to Fanatic Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Rivian, give you a quick overview of some of the data points, what really propelled it higher, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Rivian did go up 13.28%. Absolutely epic day. 1184 the high, 1048 the low, and a lot of volume. So 90.2 million for volume, 39.2 is the average. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market above $100,000. So some absolutely enormous buys. So 6.6 million, 11.6, 5.3. There's one 11.6 right here, multiple $1 million transactions, 106.4 enormous buys. So night and day difference from what it has been. So pretty epic stuff. But surprisingly enough, there was no actual news associated to Rivian today. There was a 144 that just came out after hours, roughly around 30 minutes ago. Just shows right here, RJ, which is right here, did sell about 83,000 shares, and it was done today. Still, they have an enormous amount of shares held afterwards, so nothing really crazy. So that's what the 144 shows, just they sold. Based on this right here, Form 4s show the actual details, what the actual coding is, but based on this, it shows that it was planned, but doesn't say for tax purposes. So obviously you do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But what really drove Rivian higher was this right here. So I think generally we already know, like, Trump and EVs kind of might not jive all that well. A lot of people are speculating on how that maybe Elon and Tesla might get some kickback, some benefit, but Trump did want to obviously take that $7,500 tax credit off. So what did California do? They did state that if Trump was to do that, then they would add a very similar type of credit, but exclude Tesla. So kind of crazy. I don't know if they can legally do that, but essentially, they did say that his office told Bloomberg News that the current proposal includes market share limitations that would exclude Tesla's popular EV models. So yeah, honestly, that would give, like, for instance, many other EVs a huge boost and would definitely be able to take market share from Tesla. Not significant, but baby steps, at least moving towards the right direction. And that's where Rivian could still get profitability, because I did state in my last video that the $7,500 tax credit getting taken off, that would really hurt Rivian towards profitability, at least push it back. But yeah, this is very kick-ass. Again, I don't know if they can legally do that, but going over some other data points, shorts didn't do all that much today, so they returned around 8,000 shares. You see some signs of manipulation as well, so cost to borrow minimum is negative, meaning there is a broker out there physically paying people to short Rivian. Despite that though, not really much activity. 18.82% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 140 million shares overall are being shorted. And just generally, shorts have been lingering for quite some time, and I think they are lingering because of just Trump. That is kind of the negative part, or I guess point, of EVs and how it just is portrayed, right? And it's the unfortunate truth. But again, going back over here, maybe a lot of states could do similar types of deals and credits where it would really incentivize EVs to kind of offset Trump, or Trump effect, if you want to call it that. But moving on from here though, looking at the options, 18 million in calls, 4.2 million in puts, 48% of all the options being done today were optimistic and bullish. And just generally, you can kind of see that today was a very big day. It hasn't been this high of total premiums since it looks like November the 15th. So it's been single digits since then. So 6 million, 5 million, 5 million, and then 4. So definitely it was getting a lot of attention today through common stock, as I showed you, through the secondary market, as well as through options. Of the call options that are purchased, or I guess were purchased today, there's a consensus for it to be above $18. So more of a continuation based on that. Looking at the bears, they are anticipating for it to be sub 14.50. So A lot of them are clearly calling it out. And you did see a abnormal amount for the $13 strike price for the December 20th expiry date. So some people are anticipating for maybe a broader market pullback. And interestingly enough, I have quite a few different YouTube channels, a lot of different stocks, different sectors, and there was a lot of bearish options pretty much across the board for that same December 20th chain. So I don't know, maybe if people are anticipating a pullback that might be coming, or maybe with the December 18th Fed meeting, if there won't be any cut, maybe they're anticipating a kind of a scare within the broader market, or that to spook the broader market. So let me know your thoughts on that. Right now, with it closing at $11.60, it is trading between these 2 points, so this R3 and this R2. So 11.76 will be that next strong target that you'll want to watch for it to get above tomorrow. Flip side, 11.23 and then 10.91 are strong supports, just in case it does kind of pull back. Moving over to IBKR, no new analyst ratings or anything like that, but on the actual chart itself, I have the ALMA, 50, 100, and 200-day moving average, super trend, MACD, and stochastic RSI. So going into today, Rivian was largely oversold. So that kind of worked to its benefit today. It was able to get above the ALMA as well as that 50-day moving average. So usually in Rivian's case, it's a very strong pivot. So it was able to get above that, but you do need to have 2 consecutive days to really confirm a trend. So tomorrow is going to be a very big one to watch for. Needs to stay above that 1075. So that's that 50-day moving average. And if it is able to continue this trend, then just watch for this 200-day moving average and possibly this 100 days. So this 200 is at 1201, and then that 100-day moving average is $12.78. So if it does continue the run, just watch for those 2 points. And then if it gets above that, then could have a very similar scenario that happened in July, June/July, when they announced the whole Volkswagen deal. So yeah, Rivian's definitely a very interesting stock. I think a lot of people generally can agree that Trump isn't good for EVs, and that's been one thing really dragging on Rivian. But at the same time, I think everyone does agree that Rivian is pretty much the next best contender against Tesla. So kind of have this love-hate relationship a little bit with Rivian, and you can tell that through as well analyst ratings. Some very bearish ones, especially post their earnings. So you have $12, $13, $13, and then you have some very bullish ones. So you have 20, 19, 23. So it is all over the place. As a consensus, $15 is that price target, and that does represent a 29.31% upside. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. On a side note, if you want all this information to be free, so analyst ratings, forecasts for upcoming earnings, ownership, so compiles all 13 Fs together, then take a look at IBKR, completely free, link in the description below and also the comments. So all in all, I think there is a lot more room in theory for it to go up. But this news right here is very gray. And like I said, I don't know if it is just them talking out of their own asses or if this is even legal to exclude Tesla. And given obviously Elon, like he'd be definitely suing and trying to bring down California. So it would be a very interesting scenario how that all played out or will play out. But let me know your thoughts on Rivian. Give yourself a shout out if you've been buying, selling, holding. Have you been dabbling with options, for instance? A lot of money getting in through options. And if so, what strike price are you kind of picking? Are you very bullish, playing it neutral, bearish? If you don't know options, highly suggest in researching them. They can be very, very beneficial. And then one final thing I just wanted to share with you. I did launch a Patreon, so I'm giving buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Absolute home runs I've been sharing on there, so really recommend a lot of people to pop over there, take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.